Are we live? We are live.
We are. And I'm just working on going live on Instagram as well. Welcome. We hope you can join today.
Yes, we'll see who's live with us today. I am Diana, and this is Coach Susan that's here with us today. And I'm getting some sun streaming in, so you'll see some shades on my face that I cannot control.
Well, it's beautiful. I'm envious. There's no sun where I'm at. How's everybody else doing?
That's
Are you on the sunny side of the street today?
Yeah, I don't know if I can shift or what I can do. There's not a whole lot I can do. And we're here with Karen, who is helping us on the back end today. And we're here to welcome you.
We are. Thank you, Karen, for being here. Thank you, ladies who are joining. I see several of you. Tamara, thank you for being here always. I see several on Instagram. We're here with the topic. What is our topic today?
Oh, we didn't put up a ticker. It's why group coaching is a powerful path.
There we go.
I can do that. Why is group coaching a powerful path to change? What do you ladies know about group coaching and why that might be a powerful way for you to create change over doing your own work on your own? I'll put the title in the comments because I have that power. Oh, you got it. There you go.
Yeah, we got the ticker up there.
All
so
right.
those of you who maybe experienced this, we would love to see your comments in the chat. If you've been in group coaching, perhaps group coaching with Leslie Vernick in the past, what makes that powerful?
Yeah.
If you've struggled independently, what has that experience been like for you?
Community, being held accountable. 2 thumbs up, one for each. I got 2 thumbs and I'm using them. Okay. Yeah. Why is group coaching a powerful path to change? And what would it, well, I think one thing is, there's so many advantages, right? I think just working with a coach in general can help you achieve greater clarity. I always think it's always good to have another mind. And the thing I like about coaching is that you're borrowing someone's mind who is neutral. They don't really know you well. So that's the effectiveness of a coach, that they're not biased. They step in, right? And they can provide their expertise and ability to ask curious questions that can help you to think of things in a different light and come to some conclusions that you may be stuck with. I feel like, when I've worked in coaching with other individuals and got some coaching on my own, that it helped me to feel more confident in decision making, clarity with the direction that I needed to take, and I think some accountability. If you're working every other week or however often you're working with a coach, that you have some accountability for, I've got to get this done. So the momentum keeps you moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely an action-oriented approach. Coaching in general, whether you're in individual coaching or group coaching, that's sort of the power of coaching, is to get you unstuck, unlocked, see a different perspective, and helping you create steps that move you forward.
And I think in the process of our group coaching, it's not that we're going to generate answers for you, but we're going to teach you how to generate answers, right? And be confident in those choices or decisions that you're making to move forward. And I think it's a great way to get unstuck, right? It's a great way to challenge yourself and practice some skills in areas that you hadn't had before. And I think actually, to be truthful, Susan, I think it's a loving gift that you can give yourself, is to work on yourself. I know you and I work a lot of hours. We provide a lot of care for other people. And it might be the last thing that we think of doing, giving care to ourselves in that way. But it can be so rewarding. You and I both love to do self-growth, right? But it is a compassionate act towards yourself, and the changes that you create in the context of group coaching impact not only your life, but the life of the lives of those around you that you're in relationship with.
Any other busy women out there who work a lot, whether professionally or in the home, who maybe take care of other people? Do we have any of those women here?
Yeah. Do we have any women that think of themselves last? I mean, I feel like I'm a selfish person in my own mind because, but when it comes to making choices, I'm really not making, I really have to be intentional about making those choices for myself, right? Like it's a gift to myself to put time aside for social activities, for working out. I'm usually dutiful and working on, what's the next task to get done. Yeah.
Yeah. So this definitely can be an act of self-care, a place to go to kind of look after yourself, open
Yeah.
things up, learn and grow. So I see a question on Instagram, Diana,
Okay.
it may be helpful to address right now. So the question is, what's the difference between a coach and a therapist?
You want me to answer that?
Yeah, go ahead and start.
Okay. Well, a therapist, let me think about this. The way I differentiate it is as a therapist, I am going to delve a little bit deeper into the underpinnings of what got you where you are. We're going to do a lot more exploration. In coaching, you're kind of wanting some results. You want some things to change right here and now. And while it may pertain to some of those underpinnings, we're not going to spend a lot of time with that. If you're talking about therapy in terms of coaching, in terms of counseling, there's a huge difference. You're entering into counseling or therapy because maybe you're struggling with anxiety or depression. We call that a DSM, diagnostic and diagnosis. That is in a medical setting. Now, if you're talking about therapy for relationships, that's a whole nother story. Because if you're wanting to go into therapy for your marriage or for relationships, most likely they're not going to diagnose you unless you have significant depression or anxiety or something that coincides with that. So you will be working on the relationship. But I think coaching, just in general, is action oriented, right? It's results oriented. You're definitely collaborating in the process. And depending on what area of coaching you're wanting to get, you're hiring a coach. I believe, like if I needed executive coaching because I worked in a large corporation and wanted some help with my career, I wouldn't hire a relationship coach necessarily. I'd hire someone who has that background and can help me in those areas. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think you've hit on a lot of the major points here. Really, the main difference I think of is that diagnostic component that happens in therapy, where you're looking into the past and how you got to where you are. More so with coaching, we're assuming that you're a functioning person with all your capacities that can make decisions on your own. We're not looking at the deficits. We're just helping you establish forward motion and helping you look at things in a different light to maybe see where you've been stuck, what's holding you back, what obstacles are in the way. So there are some similarities in their coaching, and you as a client may really not notice those so much. But the process itself for the clinician is quite different.
And I think one of the major distinctions that I make is when I'm working in a coaching capacity, I'm not going to resolve trauma. I do a lot of work as a counselor in trauma, and that's uses specific techniques, and you have to have knowledge and skill to do that, help in a way that makes it safe for the client. So we don't do any of that in coaching. It's not that we won't acknowledge there's emotional pain, but you're not coming there because you want to overcome that.
Right? Absolutely. Yeah. And Connie's saying, could it be a difference in insurance covering it? Yes, insurance doesn't cover for coaching because we're not dealing with diagnoses and a medical model approach. And so I do get a lot of questions from people wanting coaching if they can submit to insurance. And unfortunately, you cannot. But the benefit in that is that we're not going to be diagnosing you or sending a diagnosis into your insurance company.
That's a huge benefit. You don't want a diagnosis that doesn't pertain to your problem or what you're currently experiencing, just to have a covered medical expense, because the diagnosis will follow you forever.
Mm. Yeah.
So many people elect to do counseling even without using their insurance for that purpose alone.
Mm-hmm. But the benefit in coaching, particularly group coaching, which is our topic today, is not only do you get the coaching part of it, but you get the community. So you get various perspectives, not people speaking into your issue so much as you get to hear other people getting coached, hearing other people putting words to things that you may have experienced as well and haven't been able to put words to.
Yeah.
I see that happen quite a lot in my coaching groups that I'm running, is that there's a lot of aha moments because as one person is speaking, everybody's light bulbs start going off.
Right.
These kind of, oh, that's happened to me too. I've experienced that as well. I just didn't know how to put words to it. So it's quite powerful.
I feel like if you're wanting to change and to grow, and not wanting to focus on what's wrong, you're wanting progress and moving forward. That's where you want to engage in coaching. And the group coaching process, what I love about it is that you have the collective wisdom of all of the people in your group that also have shared experiences and maybe different ideas and thoughts that they can bring forward that will help to expand your awareness and your knowledge, and you can apply that to your own life and your own work that you're trying to do. I think one of the biggest things that I hear from all of the ladies that we work with, I shouldn't say all, it's not all, most, is that the beauty of knowing that where you're struggling, you're not alone. There is just something about that, to know that what I'm dealing with or how I'm trying to move is common. And someone, and I'm not alone in this, or someone's been here and they're here with me in this now. We are broken in the context of relationships, and we are healed in the context of relationships. And a community of, especially our groups, a community of believers with a curriculum that's Bible-based yet practically applied. I mean, that's like gold, right?
It is. Yes. Yeah, Tamara is saying meeting women from all over the world has been a blessing too. Yeah, I have clients from all over the world. It's really amazing to see the different perspectives and just get a flavor for worldwide culture.
Absolutely. I love, we had Italy in the house for one of mine today. And of course, we always have our neighbors from Canada. But yes, we do get to see people from all over. And I love the ability, really, one of the things I think COVID has brought into our world is we do a lot more virtually now. And it has opened up the door of opportunity. And, just think about that. You talk about diverse perspectives and ideas. Now you're getting people who are international as well, who bring their own unique experiences, their skills, and their viewpoints to the group context, right? And we process challenges together. And our goal in our group is applying the truths and the tools that we give you in a way that creates transformation moving forward.
So yeah, that application.
Huge.
It's so powerful in a group setting, isn't it? That ability to practice, to role play, to move into small groups, to share, to get coached, to watch others getting coached, right? That experiential piece is powerful.
So you can take a class anywhere, right? You can. And it's always information, but what do you do with that? I am an information sieve, but in this decade of my life, I'm realizing I really need to work with it and apply it. I can absorb so much information, but applying it takes a whole nother discipline, doesn't it? And And so we're trying in our group coaching experiences to help you live out your experience and what you're learning in a real way that creates lasting change for you. And you know what? It's hard to have the motivation and to do that when you're on your own. Things get in the way unintentionally, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when you're on your own, you said sometimes, you have a household full of people, but not all of them are invested in learning and growing. They don't
Yeah.
always want to practice these things with you.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need to come together with others who want to learn and grow the same things in the same way that you do to practice, so that you can then take those skills and begin applying those with people who may not have that mindset, but then can discover how much better it is to have good, calm communication, to feel respected, and to experience dignity and assertiveness and
Yeah.
boundaries. It can be powerful for those people in your home who maybe have never experienced it.
Well, I think one of the things about group coaching also is that if you're meeting with the same people, and as you know, we do with our coaching, but also in the private groups that we're in as well, doing our own work, you're meeting with the same people over and over, and they become a support for you. And often deeper friendships actually kind of are created from that. But there is something about just being in community with one another and grappling, as we do, with some of the tougher issues that we face. Um, I don't know. I just think that's one anothering, isn't it?
One anothering. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like, there are times in the groups that I'm in, apart from what we do, we're checking in with each other. You know, we're supporting one another. We're praying for one another. So for me, it's not walking alone, quite frankly. I did have some quotes here. I hope I didn't lose them. Oh, here we go. Kurt Thompson. How
Mm,
many of you are fans of Kurt Thompson?
I
We,
certainly.
yeah, we thrive on shared experiences of hope within a community. We are creating hope and hope for change, right? Hope for possibilities,
Mm. Mhm.
growth, awareness, all of those things. And go ahead.
I love that shared experience bringing hope. I do see that unfold in my groups. One of the things that I do, and I imagine you do as well, is take some times for what are the wins?
Yes.
When you've stepped out to apply things,
Yeah.
let's celebrate the wins together. And
Mhm.
as people talk about that and they share how they've applied it in real life situations in their world, again, I see those light bulbs going off of, oh, that's how it can work. And oh, maybe I could do that too. And it
Exactly.
does create a sense of motivation and hope for others. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. How can we do it alone? Once you experience the power of being with others who support you, hmm,
Mhm.
I think that if you're going to be in a group, you need a safe and supportive system, right?
Yes.
Um, I do love the idea of gaining insight from others, especially in places where we could be stuck or needing wisdom or insight for our growth and vitality. And obviously, I remember when I was raising my daughters, we used to collaborate with the front staff and talk about what it was like to mother. And we had an older woman there who would share her experiences with us and just let us know that what we were dealing with was normal stuff.
Mm.
How good that was to ease your mind, your brain and your body. Like, oh,
Mhm.
okay, someone's been here before. This is territory I can navigate as well. I just need some tools, some support and encouragement.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Um, the richness of validation, right? The soothing
Yes.
salve of validation, and then to see that when group of 15 women come together, they're at different stages, right? We have all ages. I have had women in their 20s, and I have had women in their 80s, and to be able to share those experiences and to just see the journey from different perspectives is amazing.
I think, if you, just as in the line of work that we're in, we spend a tremendous amount of money on our own growth and development. We're just used to that. And if you're a little bit shy about investing that kind of money in your own growth, I think group coaching can be a little bit more cost effective than one-on-one, for sure. Also, you can borrow the motivation of the group to help you, and borrow one another's emotional resilience. And if you're in a space where it's hard for you to meet other women, I think it can be valuable, right?
Very. You and I both know that these groups tend to join together in a way that's beautiful. They often meet outside of our Zoom times because they want to continue to support each other. We have many groups that are meeting after years being together, that they still continue to get together to support each other, text each other, reach out, travel together. Yeah. Meaningful relationships develop.
And I'm just going to repeat this, ladies, I am in a different location today and I cannot hide the sun. So I apologize for the shading on my face, but it's way up in the ceiling and I cannot put a shade over it. So in case you're wondering why I'm struggling the way I am in the sun, I'm not really struggling. But anyways. Yeah. Learning to be okay with talking in front of others I trust. That is the truth. I'm wondering if you ladies have any questions for us. We have a smaller audience today, but would love to dialogue with you. Do you have any questions? We are actually, we just started our group coaching and walking core strength this week. And we have just a few spots available. We have a couple Tuesday morning. We have a Tuesday at 6:30. If you want to get in really quickly, you can. We could make that happen, I think. And we have 3 spots on Monday at 3 p.m. We do have a question in the question tracker about if I miss the first class, would it still be worth joining? And I would say you would have to make that decision. You missed the live portion of that first class, but you will have all the materials and the replay and have plenty of time to get caught up and get moving, especially since this is the first week. So if your desire is to accomplish the goals and be a part of that group, this go round, I would say that decision has to be up to you. But there's replays. You would just be missing one class.
Yeah.
There are no scholarships often offered for these types of groups that we do. We do offer a lot of scholarships, we offer some scholarships for the membership group, and we take those on a case-by-case basis. But mainly, what you're seeing today is part of your scholarship. We do a ton of live teaching, a lot of deep content. And we put that all out for free. It'll be on Facebook. It'll be on YouTube historically forever. And we do blog posts. We do newsletters. Leslie does podcasts. That's all your freebies, ladies. So these are the paid services. And we do one-on-one coaching as well, which is a little bit of a higher cost. But that's how we earn our living.
Yes. This is a business, but Leslie is very generous, and several times a year she gives an incredible free webinar workshop with lots of handouts, so valuable, and yet no cost to any of the people who register. And she gets thousands and thousands of people who register for those each time she offers it. It's pretty incredible.
She does. And you know what? I've been on other, some of the therapists we know that are pretty well known will do those workshops, and they have valuable golden nuggets for takeaways, and I appreciate that. But then you'll be on some other ones and they're just pure marketing. You know what I mean? So I think I agree with you. I've learned a lot from Leslie through our webinars as well. Yeah. So do you ladies have any other questions for us tonight? We popped on because we wanted to offer an opportunity for whoever might still be out there considering group coaching. So we're hoping. Yeah.
See, Diane says, I joined looking forward to my first session. We're looking forward to that too, Diane.
Ask Diane which one she's in. Is she on Instagram?
Instagram, yes.
Yeah.
I don't see her response to that yet, but
okay.
All right.
So if you have questions about group coaching, please let us know. We're happy to answer those.
I do see there is one in the tracker. If you want to jump into that question, Friday. Oh, Diane will be in my class on Friday afternoon.
All right. Are there in-person support groups anywhere at all? For instance, I live in Niagara, Ontario, Canada, and I would absolutely love to reinforce these helpful tools with others in my area in person. I'm not sure what that means. Are there in-person support groups anywhere, for instance, in Niagara?
Well, not through Leslie Bernick and Company. So that's the business that we work for, and we are working on. Hopefully, this is sort of under wraps in some in-person group coaching. We would love to bring that at some point, but it will be in one location. We're not going to be able to venture into everybody's location. Can you find groups in your area? Probably. I don't know what those would be or how you would even find those, but they would be topical most likely. And I know that it is sometimes people want to be in person so that they can be face to face with others. But I think this is sort of the way of the world these days, is to do the virtual. Because you can collaborate with women from all over the place and join together to make the most of a particular topic, like core strength, right? This is a very specific curriculum that's centered around those 4 basic components.
I think that groups are wonderful. I attend a local abuse group in person weekly. Recently, they went over boundaries, and I was expressing most of those violations, and I felt set up. Oh, maybe experiencing most of those violations. I was hoping the leaders would run with what I told them, but they left it to me. Is there a good way to handle situations like that? I wasn't aware that that was going to happen. And I'm thinking what she might be saying is that they went over boundaries, but she was already experiencing boundary violations in the group, right?
Maybe. Yes. I'm not sure how to read that either, but yes, that's I think maybe what she's saying.
So I think if we have that right, and that's the case, it's interesting your leaders don't want to deal with boundaries other than reiterating boundaries. I'm not sure that would feel safe for me, for one thing, if the leaders aren't willing to abide by the boundaries, or enforce the boundaries. And I think if I were in a group like that, I would kind of feel my way through, and I would assert and emphasize those boundaries verbally. It'd be a good opportunity for me to speak up and get strong. And so I might practice that in that group and see what happens before I just decide to exit. And I might have a conversation with the leaders about the confusion about these are boundaries. You're the leader. How do you see a leader really enforcing the boundaries of a group that she's head over or he's head over, right?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I would wonder too, with a lot of support group, it's not necessarily a coach or anybody that's a leader. Sometimes it's a facilitator, somebody who's perhaps volunteering. And so they may not have a lot invested in that. I think that's one of the things I love about our groups is that we are all trained coaches. And so we do set up the groups for safety in the beginning, our first session. We do spend some time on that. What are group values? How do we create a safe space? We talk about confidentiality and things. And, if there's something that needs to be addressed, the coaches will address that. A facilitator may not.
Thank you. That was good. I didn't think of that. The group does not work out of a workbook. And yes, there is homework. You will have videos and handouts and homework because we want you to apply what you're learning. So we're going to teach you the tools, coach you around it, have you practice it in between sessions. bring your questions. We'll be coaching, encouraging, inspiring you, and you will also interact with other women as we're doing that, which is pretty fun. And so we have a lot of amazing curriculum. So you'll get like a video, you'll get a handout, and it will all be accessed through our learning portal that we have. And you'll end up with the workbook. Mine's right behind me, ladies. Do you want to see my workbook?
Quite a large one.
This is my workbook for walking and core strength. Mind you, I've done it several times, so I have duplicate papers, but it'll end up being about that thick when you're done. You have 6 sessions. There's a lot of material and a lot of really good work to cover. I do like the idea of that you can go back at any time and rewatch your videos just from your group alone. But you can watch the videos, that teaching videos that Leslie has. And each time you do that, there will be new layers of learning, I believe, because you'll hear something you didn't hear before, or you'll be in a different place and want to apply it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I often tell my ladies that in the group is that there is so much to the content. That's why we give it to you for a lifetime, is that you're only going to be able to absorb some of it. But with the group, what's interesting is different women get different things that are important. It's all there, but that they highlight different things. And as we're sharing, it kind of comes into fuller focus. But you can always go back through and absorb more. And each time you do, you'll get different things.
This particular group is focused on core strength. Core strength is a concept that Leslie designed and came up with that helps you to walk in all that God has called you to be, specifically being committed to truth, being open to receiving input from others, learning how to be responsible and respectful, and what is empathy without enabling. So those are the 4 key concepts. And we have probably talked in general about those things on our Facebook Lives, but we take a deep dive into it, I think. And what does it really look like to live that out?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Once we take the class, are we able to use the materials to teach others?
No.
These materials belong to Leslie Vernick and Company. They're copyrighted. You will learn things that will equip you to go out. And that's part of what we love, is that you can support other women, that you will have better skills to help others, to support others, to sit with others in their pain. But you cannot use the documents or the videos. That
would be unethical to do that. And so we ask you to abide by the ethics of, I've paid for this course and it's for me to use. And whoever else wants to use the course materials can join as well. I mean, and as Coach Susan said, you can teach them the basic principles of what you're doing in your life, but no, it's proprietary information.
Mm-hmm.
It's Leslie's hard work for how many years? 40 years? I don't know.
Yes. Yeah. She's put a lot of work and effort into these courses. Yes.
Yeah. That'd be like me sharing my Netflix password with everybody on my street. Kind of.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just reading in the chat to see if there's other questions.
No, we did not train through Leslie to become coaches. We have, Susan and I have a different background. And there are many good areas that you can go to get coaching. I think American Association for Christian Counselors, and I don't know what's the other organizations there, but there are amazing. Like even here in Cleveland, we have the Gestalt Institute has an excellent coaching program. And there's ICFF certified coaching programs, and it can be very extensive to get trained and certified in coaching. It's different than a college degree. Susan and I have our training from a formal educational system, which is separate from some of the training that you would get as a coach. That makes sense? Did I explain that well?
Yes, I think you did.
Okay.
Thank you for that. Yeah, what other questions do you have, ladies, about group coaching, about the content. If you're feeling on the fence, so we've been doing these lives. We've been going live with various topics, promoting group coaching for a couple of weeks now. If you've been watching and you're still wondering, you're still on the fence, that's why we're here today. To let you know there are just a couple of spots left, and the groups start this week or have started this week. And so we want to be able to help you make a decision. If you're feeling stuck, let us know what it is that is causing you the delay or causing you to question. So just kind of giving a pause for that to see if anybody has any other questions about group coaching.
And finally, I can see now the sun has gone behind the building. We're so glad that you joined us today. We hope that we gave you an idea of what the power of group coaching can bring to your life and your journey.
Yes, we appreciate you being here. We wanted to do this kind of last live, and we do have a meeting that both of us have to get to tonight still, but we wanted to be here for you if we can help support you, if we can answer a question.
Sure.
Thanks, Tamara, for putting in. My only regret of delaying joining any of the groups. I wish I knew the information years ago. We don't want that to be you. So thank you for sharing that, Tamara. The time is now to dive in, to get going, to move forward.
We won't be offering this for quite a while. So if you're like, oh, doggone it, I should have done it, you still have a couple of sections you can get into. Well, just one tonight. And don't let that stop you. But do pick a time that works for you and come consistently.
All right. Before we close today, maybe just put in the chat what's coming up for you. What thoughts do you have? What takeaways have you gleaned? And even what action steps will you take? So maybe it's just going to leslievernick.com. And let me just put our banner up. We didn't even do that, Diana.
Shame on us.
leslievernick.com/group coaching. I know Karen has been putting it in the chats. But maybe you want to just look and see what we're offering, read the information, see what classes are open, consider if it would be right for you. And maybe you have other ideas about what you need.
Yeah.
In terms of a group, in terms of accountability or movement forward.
Yeah. Sounds good. So what have you heard today that's going to be life-changing for you? Put it in the chat. Or maybe just what you're going to take away.
So we won't be offering this course again until the fall. So this is your kind of your last chance to take it this spring. It'll be several months again. So I see the God is love. If that's your name, you're not ready to take it this time around. So we hope you're able to join next time. But we did want to offer that now for those of you who are wanting to grow now. We're at the beginning of a year. And what would you like to be saying by summertime in terms of your change? What would you like to be different?
All right. Thank you for being with us.
Yeah, thank you so much, ladies. And take care of yourselves. Be well.